All right, and we're back.
We are. So for those of you that are just joining us, we have Wayne Greenhaw, sorry, and Stephen Weekly. Wayne has a Fargo rating of 628, and Stephen has a Fargo rating of 683.
All right.
So should be a pretty competitive match.
So I am Adrienne Beach with Rail to Rail Productions, and I'm being joined by Marty Turpin.
Yes.
Thank you.
With no productions.
With no production. You have no productions.
I have no productions.
Oh, that's sad.
It is. I'm still making it through the day, though. And soon, I guess, we'll be joined by Paul Potse, who said he would be back, but, he's a wanderer, right? So
Yeah,
we have to allow for that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, nice break. A little bit more movement with the cue than he probably want, but looks like he has reasonably good shape. Made a few balls.
A few balls. He made 4 balls.
4 balls.
Holy moly.
Yeah. Could be making quick work of the first rack. Is this an A-side match?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So it's a race to 9. I should probably change that on. Oh, I did change it on the graphic. I need to change it over here.
Probably come off. It's one of those touchy shots. You're always a little concerned of the side pocket. Played it perfect. Depending on the angle, I'm thinking he'll probably want to stop it or even roll it forward a little bit so he can make the 5 ball on the side. But we'll see what he comes up with. Oh. It's going to make it a little bit more challenging. A cut, but he'll use a little inside English if he's cutting the 5 ball on the side. And then hopefully bring the cue ball towards the center of the table. Nope. Yes. Is that better? Okay. Okay, he was in a tough spot there, but he's left what we call a tester. So sometimes you think about controlling the object ball, and sometimes you're more just thinking about controlling the cue ball, and that's what he's done, is control the cue ball. Excellent shot. Pretty good shape on the 9. I think we'll find that he's out. And the first game goes to Stephen.
That was quick.
It was indeed.
It's quick when you make 4 balls on the break. And
yeah, it was very nice of Wayne to do that for him.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Well, it's time to see what kind of break Stephen has.
It's getting a little rowdy in here.
Well, now the A-side matches are starting to come in.
Yep.
And people are getting knocked out on the B-side, so they're starting to drink a little and eat a little. And
they're a little thirstier now than they were
Yes.
before. See, that was a good break. The cue in a decent spot with the 1. And notice the break wasn't very hard.
No?
I mean, new cloth, smart rack. It's really a nice recipe for slowing down the speed of your break and keeping control of the cue ball.
A smart rack?
Is it not this? What am I? Sorry. Am I showing my ignorance here?
I've just never heard it called a smart rack before.
Really?
Yeah.
Am I the only one calling it that? What do you call it?
I think so. It's either a template rack or a magic rack or...
Oh. Well, don't listen to me then. Why am I calling it the smart rack?
I don't know why you're calling it a smart rack.
Without knowing it, I'm going to change the name and be starting a revolution.
I don't know what's so smart about it.
Well, it racks perfectly.
Yeah, well, yeah, but...
You know, we'll have to get a definitive word from Paul when he comes back.
It's a template rack.
A template rack.
Yes.
Okay. I'm stubborn, though. I'm not giving it up.
Smart rack it is.
I will have my way.
Oh, dear.
Let's see here. So he's got a bit of a problem. That 2 ball's not. He might be able to cut it in the side. I mean, that's a shot no one would really go for usually. But if you've got no safety shot, why not? Why not just go for it?
Why not?
Yeah. Seems like he tried, but.
And there's the safety right there.
And there it is. The smart safety.
So is smart your new word?
I'm liking it because it's 1 syllable.
Yeah.
So I can manage it.
I bet you could probably even spell it.
There's a silent P in there, right?
Paul may regret leaving us alone so long. He's going to come back and...
He derailed the whole thing. Okay. So it looks like he's going to cut this 2 ball on the side and then bring the cue ball down at least 1 rail to the bottom rail and then up for the 3 in the corner. Now he got a little bit more angle than he was probably wanting, but I'll cut it in and make use of the side rail. Oh, just float it down to the bottom. A little risky, but...
Well, you know, it looked good.
Yeah, you just could have got it behind that 6 ball, then it wouldn't have been so good. Okay. Now we got a little bit of a challenge. Wow. It's like he planned it. Just got right down to shoot it.
I think it might come out a little bit far.
I don't know if he can see it or not, but I don't think he'll have a whole ball here to shoot at.
No, I think he's just got an edge.
Would have been interesting to take a look at the options there. I mean, I wonder if he could have made the 9 on that, but I don't know how close to the pocket the 9 really is from this angle. Oh. Wow. Now what?
Well, you play it safe to try to put the cue ball behind the 9.
It turns out not an easy thing to do.
No, not.
So now,
I didn't say it was easy. Jeez, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
From this chair, it was very easy.
You just do it.
Ooh.
Oh.
He probably didn't need to hit it that hard. Unless he was trying to, I guess he was trying to come back for 8 in the side or something, but.
I don't know. I agreed to play Scotch Dope. What's that?
But he says there's no stream.
Who's streaming? Yes, Sophia. I'm talking to one of our viewers.
Rail to rail. It's not on Facebook.
It's on YouTube.
.net, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you can watch it earlier, too.
And Steven looks like he's getting it done.
Well, that's good because he's auditioning for to be my Scotch partner.
Oh. I understand there's a long line up there.
There is.
Yeah. Well
There
done.
is.
A 2-0 lead for Steven.
Do you wear a glove when you play?
I do now. This is the first year that I've started using one. And I was in China this year playing. And it was very humid there. And I had not anticipated that. And I found that there was just a lot of friction, running the cue on my hand.
Right.
There was a lot of perspiration, what have you. And it was affecting my stroke for sure. And I couldn't get a glove in time for my next match. And it was weighing heavy on my mind. And I thought, you know what? I just don't need to be thinking about this.
Yeah.
Right? So I started to use one just to see how I felt about it. And it works great. And so I'm not questioning it. I'm just going to wear one. Then I don't have to think about it anymore.
Oh,
How about you?
I picked up one when I was in Vegas a couple of years for APA. And it was very humid, and it's the same thing. And I just went and got one because I was just like,
Yeah.
I can't keep running to the bathroom, wash my hands and stuff. And I played with it down there, and then I thought, you know what? I'm going to have to, because I'm of the opinion that if you're going to switch something, you need to commit to it. So I committed to it for a year, and then I quit wearing it because it was just like, it's just not me. I really like the feel of my cue running through my hands. So I have that issue when it gets real humid. What do I do?
Right.
So,
Well, I guess different strokes for different folks, right?
yeah. And it could be that maybe I just haven't found the glove.
Well, that could be the case.
Yeah.
Just buy 10 of them.
But 10 different kinds. Which one
See
do I
what
like?
you think. Okay, so I made a mess of the 5-ball, and it's the only complicated ball on the table, so trying to figure that one out. That's a good shot on the 2. Would have liked to come out a little bit. So someone would love to have ball in hand here. I mean, I don't know if that 5-ball can see its way into a corner pocket, but
It will go on the side.
it'll go on the side. It's unfortunate if you're having to rely on only one pocket for the ball. Getting shape on that ball from where the 6 is, it could be a challenge. So someone would like to get ball in hand here and be able to free it open. Oh. And there it is. That looks like Steven will just come off the bottom rail and position up for the 4.
Mark Thompson, Mark,
Okay. Good shot by Wayne. Now, how will he get position on the 5? Will he use draw and come off a side rail, depending on what the angle is? If he tries to go forward, he might hit the 9 ball.
I think draw is the only way you have to go.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Oops.
Oops is right. That would be the word.
Oops.
It's still early in the match. Sometimes, with these long waits between matches, not having the time to warm up and what have you, kind of work it out in the first couple of games, right?
Yeah, you do.
In golf, they allow it. They call it the mulligan, right? When you get that free shot, we don't get any mulligans here. This is pool. We are hard.
I hear that the mulligan really isn't part of the rules of golf.
Listen, you are challenging everything about me today. The smart rack, now the mulligan. That's okay, though. I handle it pretty well.
Do you know?
Once I stop crying.
I was going to say.
All right. Steven is got a commanding 3-0 lead now. So we'll see what Wayne has to say about that.
Well, he's sitting in his chair right now. He's not
Yes.
saying a whole lot of anything.
But maybe he'll be telling himself something meaningful while he's in the chair, and then he'll get up and run a 3-pack or something.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
So, do you prefer a winner break format or an alternating break format?
You know what? I think it's good to have both. So I'm glad to be playing in something like this. I think what you find is if you're playing someone that's very strong and it's easy to make a ball on a break, then it's also easy for that player to run 3-4 racks on you. And if it's a relatively short race, it can be over before you know it. So without making many mistakes, you can lose a match.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, no, it's not the greatest thing if you're in a losing situation in that. If you're in stroke, if everything is smooth, you're making balls on your break and you're running racks. I mean, it's a great format, right? But I think it's also great for tournaments that are trying to draw in newer players, players that are just, everyone's developing, but not so much from a beginner status. And for beginners that are coming in and wanting to play, it gives them an opportunity when loser breaks, or you're alternating break rather. It's just a nice opportunity for players to actually have that chance to break and get experience on the table and doing that. So I kind of like both. How about you? What are your thoughts?
Well, I look at it more from a promoter's and a spectator's point of view. Part of it because of the streaming, part of it because I do put on tournaments. The alternating break format allows both players to play, so when people are watching, they get to see both players. So if you have,
Gotcha. Yep.
Dan and Stan playing, and it's an alternating break, they're both getting an opportunity at the table, and I think it causes you to have more hill matches, which
That
are
makes
a
sense.
little bit more exciting.
Yep. Yep.
So
I get that. It's also exciting to watch someone run 7 racks.
Yeah.
Or 8 racks. It doesn't happen a lot, but that's kind of fun to watch too. Looks like we're having a little safety battle here. Waiting for just jockeying for position, waiting for someone to make a mistake. So this might be a difficult shot to manage the cue ball. He was going for a ball there. What do you think? Does that 4-ball go?
I was just, yes, it does. It does go.
Right you are.
Did you doubt me?
Well, maybe just for a second.
Silly man.
Well, Wayne's coming on strong, left a good save. Got an opportunity to make a couple balls. Now he's got a tester, and if he succeeds with it, then he'll probably have an easy 9-ball. Oh, look at that. Oh, makes the 9-ball.
Okay.
Does the obligatory apology and smiles, loving that he made a game. That's called pool etiquette right there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So Wayne gets on the board and scores 3-1.
Well, we get to see Wayne break again. Last time he broke, 4 balls on the break. Let's see if it's an anomaly or if that is his normal break. What? Oh, I don't. Do you need one?
Yeah, we don't have any. So it's
Chris, will you look at them a score sheet? Oh, okay.
He ran out of them.
Okay.
I'll go check and see.
A lot of players
Thank you.
breaking from the sides and more often than not making balls. Unfortunately, Wayne here has left the cue ball on the bottom rail and doesn't seem to have a clear shot on the one. Let's see what he does here. No. Yeah, he went for it, and oftentimes when you go for it, you fail to leave it safe. But Steven has a challenging shot here. He's got to make this one in the corner and then figure out how to get shape for that 2-ball,
Okay.
and at the same
Thank
time
you.
can't scratch. Came close, that was challenged, so I think he'll probably try and play it safe here.
Really, first of all, trust that it's going to be light.
Yeah, just a delicate touch.
You may not feel what. And, you know, you may say, well, maybe it wasn't that stuff. Because that's the balance of his own. But it was that stuff. How much was it?
Looks like he opened the door for Steven. So Steven's jacking up, probably just trying to draw the cue ball back a little bit, or keep it right there. Just avoid following in the object ball with the cue ball. So now we've got the 3-ball looking for the 4. May just draw it back depending on the angle, or stun it against the side rail and bring it out for the 4. Yeah. We are now being joined by Paul Potier.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Paul.
So, Paul, we've been having a little bit of an argument.
An argument?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. I leave for
Friendly.
5 minutes. You
It's
guys
been-
get in an argument.
It's been friendly, and it's been more than 5 minutes.
I
So
can't count.
what do you call the rack that we've been using?
The magic rack?
The magic rack. Okay. Any other terms used to describe it?
I can't think of it right now, but
No.
I'm assuming that you know another.
Well, no,
another-
you're really just making me into an idiot because I've been calling it the smart rack, and she looked at me like I had two heads.
Well, I hear that he
fortunate.
does have two heads, but we won't talk
Anyway.
about that right now.
And
No,
just
no,
like
no.
that.
It is a pretty smart rack,
wa-
considering. you
Well,
know, I don't-
smart
it's not-
as in snazzy, yeah.
doesn't
sure.
have the name Smart Rack, but it is a pretty
I'm
smart
not going to
rack.
call it a snazzy rack, okay?
You're not going to call it.
Not in a pool room.
Doesn't want to show his age.
Yeah, apparently.
Snazzy. Do they use that word anymore? Is
Not-
that word?
No, not really.
Only in geriatric
Yeah, pretty much.
centers.
I don't have
Tells you where I hang out.
I don't have a tough guy image, but it would go way down if I start using words like snazzy in a pool room.
You go from a 700 Fargo rating tough guy image to a 350.
That's okay. Your image now is like down around 100. Okay.
Ooh, ouch.
No, I was telling him it was like a magic
I'm not
rack.
sure I should be in the middle between these two here.
That's where I want you, Paul.
No, he was calling it smart rack, and I'm trying to figure out why.
I call it a smart rack because it racks the balls perfectly.
It makes sense. However, it's not the name, but it does fit. It fits good. It is a smart rack.
You guys are staying together, aren't you?
No.
No, but sometimes
Is that your ride home?
Sometimes I stay at his place. I don't know. I don't want the soap spiked in some way.
Back to the game. Everyone's probably like, what are these
He's
guys talking about?
It's
he's
a
on
template rack.
He's on a yes. It is a template rack. Yes, it's very good. It's
See?
a template rack.
See?
Yes, but
Told
it's not
you.
called that
Magic
either.
is the brand name. So there's a
Yes,
Magic rack,
that's correct.
AccuStats rack. There is a Turtle rack, which
The
is shaped
turtle
different.
rack. That's right. Yeah,
You watch,
they're all
someone's
templates.
designing a rack now, and they're going to call it the smart rack, and they'll
Oh.
be the richest.
It'll be the
And I will
best
get no
sold.
money for it.
Well, you shouldn't have said it on the air.
I know.
That was your first mistake.
Yeah.
He's new on the air. He doesn't know what not to say.
Yeah.
Give him a break.
Forgive me, folks. Just for being me.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought that 6 went. Go forward. Okay.
Oh.
Have somebody say that smart rack is a brand name. Which I've never heard one,
A
but
brand name for a magic rack
for a template rack, yeah.
that I haven't seen one.
Neither have I.
I've seen this smart. Smart.
He's over grinning like a
smart
Cheshire
other
cat.
products
Folks.
from
Folks, just so you know, I mean, they're having trouble letting it go.
Apple has got. Apple has some products that are called smart stuff,
Yeah, well, the smartphone, because it does a lot of things.
but that's not
Oh.
its name brand.
Like
No.
racking balls perfectly.
Yeah.
Well, the perfect rack. Remember, you call it the perfect rack.
How about these players?
They are very smart.
Okay. That's
So
good
this
shot,
run that
Wayne?
it's
What's that?
the Steven had started from Wayne making a shot and having bad position on a 7-ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then shooting the 7-ball up table, leaving him almost by the 9. And then Steve made a great shot, I guess. I didn't see the shot, but I saw him playing the 8 after. So he must have made that shot on the 7-ball, long distance. And then he's been in control. But 4-2 with Wayne now breaking. Wayne's got a
making a
couple different gears. Wayne can play at a pretty high level.
Yeah. Well, and previous, not the match previous to this, but in another match that we were commentating on, we discussed the importance of what a person tells themselves in a chair, right?
Yep,
That
that's right.
self-communication. And if you want to tell some of the people out there what your thoughts are on communication when you're sitting in a chair and your opponent's ahead of you, what ought to be going through your mind at that time, I'm sure some people would like to hear it.
Well, what ought to be going to your head when you're sitting in the chair is not reliant necessarily on what your opponent is doing. But if you're just kind of like sitting in your chair not thinking of anything at the time, and your opponent gets ahead on you, and you start feeling a little anxious about that, either losing confidence or whatever it is, the best thing that you can do, first of all, is find a way to cool your body down. So breathe better. Take some deep breaths, let them go, get yourself so that you're cool. Because if you're hot in any way, you can't start thinking right when you're hot. So you got to get yourself cool first. And then just think about the things that you have control over. So that's a number of things. And none of those things actually are how well he's playing or how lucky he's getting or how unlucky you're getting. So you have to be thinking about what it is that you can do to improve your own performance. But first is get your mind in the right mindset. And you can't do that if you're hot. And you will be hot if you're unhappy or angry.
Gotcha. Good advice.
That'll be $500, please.
And if you'd like to buy my new and improved smart towel, it'll help you if you're feeling warm.
Yes. Smart towel. That's a good idea. Yeah, I think I might go with that. I might get one of those.
Yeah, well, you know,
I might make one of
Mr.
those.
Smart over there.
And I just call me Mr. Magic.
You're Mr. Magic and Mr. Smart. Oh, Lord. Oh, Bevy says hi.
Hey, Bev.
I'm too shy to say hi.
Bev,
back.
you should be playing in this tournament. You should be here playing, kicking all these guys.
Yes, she should be.
And you're actually the most entertaining player that would be out here, too. You're entertaining.
And how is Bev entertaining, Paul?
She gets up and she just pummels through those balls. Runs a rack like nothing.
Yeah. It's still smarts.
Have you had a few matches against Bev?
Well,
Have you?
yes. Her team knocked us out of the tournament. Was it in 2016? Down in Nationals. So our team had to play her team. We were playing in the third place. We were sitting at third place at that point. And yeah, I had to play a couple of games against her, and
She has
How did
been
that go
very
for you?
successful individually and
it's
as a
still
team
smarts.
member. Still smarts. Well, I think Wayne got what I like to call cool mad. Probably a little ticked off at himself for doing what he did that one game, and now he's on a mission, and that can bring about the that extra special Wayne that can play at the highest level. I don't think he's going to get lazy anymore. He's definitely a fighter. He's always been a fighter, but
He's proving that now.
yeah,
Score is 4-3 for Steven.
4-3. It's another good match here that we're commentating here, Marty.
Yeah.
Got some good matches to commentate.
I like to think we had something to do with it.
The quality of commentating certainly makes a difference to the quality of the match. Absolutely.
Yeah. Until we start getting messages coming in asking us to leave.
By the way, I want to point this out to people that are listening here. Marty does not drink or smoke drugs or do any kind of drugs at all or smoke it. Just so you'll know, he's crazy naturally. All right?
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that.
No problem. I thought I'd put that plug in for you there.
Yeah. No,
So
that's very
basically, what you're
special.
saying, he's on a weekend pass.
Yeah, that's weekend. A long weekend pass. Yes, he's allowed out till.
Until Monday night, and he's
Tuesday.
got to go back.
Oh yes, we're all sad about that.
Oh, okay. You can be sad about that.
Tell you, it doesn't matter what I do, I just get kicked in the head.
We know we can see the results.
Very hurtful.
I think you started it, though. I'm pretty sure you did.
Oh, you're probably right.
If something gets started, it's generally because of Marty. Yes. Anything. So, Marty, you had the pleasure of joining us to China on 2 different occasions. What would you like to tell the audience about Chinese 8-ball, China, the whole tournament? Anything that you'd like to share with them?
Probably the most challenging pool game in existence. I have never really played 3-cushion billiards, so I can't speak intelligently about how that would compare. But with all of the standard games that we all seem to know about and play regularly, I would say Chinese 8-ball is much more difficult just because of the how tight the pockets are and shaped more like a snooker table, like the snooker table pockets. You see a lot less of people running out in Chinese 8-ball. So you can get some top pros winning 13 games, but they only had 1 break and run in the 13, and they're a top pro.
And not making any mistakes.
Yeah. So it's I think on a 9-foot diamond with fairly tight pockets, if you line 2 balls up along a rail and tell a person just to make 100 shots straight down the lane, they'll probably make 95 out of 100 if they're a good pro. But on a Chinese 8-ball table, if you try that same shot, you'll probably make about 15 to 20, somewhere around there.
Or maybe none.
Or
Zero.
maybe none. Yeah, you probably leave the table before making 100 shots. But you know what? It's an incredibly challenging game. It's a lot of fun to get in there and play with a bunch of people that do nothing else but play Chinese 8-ball, and some of whom are paid to play, right? Sponsored, and they take pool very seriously. And the opening ceremonies it was like an Olympics.
I like
Really?
Olympics.
You know, oh yeah, they have fireworks, professional dancers. It's on TV for millions to see. They take pool very seriously, and I think China's a little different that way. You know, if you're a young guy in China and you're a professional ping pong player, you get as many dates as an American who's like a top-notch quarterback in football. You know? So, but I seem to like the games that go over well in China. So,
How do you feel they treated us? The volunteers, the tournament, the directors, the referees.
The treatment was A+. I thought it's not that there are no mistakes or you wouldn't do some things differently. I mean, one thing we know about pool players, we always come up with a different or better way to do something, right, than what the people are doing. But bottom line is you need to make decisions of how to do a tournament, and not everyone will be popular, but you made your decisions and you go with it. And but man, the way that they handle the staffing and getting people to help you in situations where you don't speak the language or you need a cab or whatever it is, you want help finding a restaurant that has this but not that, and I mean, they just have people dedicated to you 24/7. So great overall experience 2 years in a row. What are your thoughts, Paul?
Yeah, best refereeing I've seen anywhere, and they get paid pretty good money. These referees, it's a career for them. So there's a few dozen of them, and they're well trained, they're well organized, they're happy being referees, they're proud of it. They do a good job. A number of them speak English, so are able to communicate with us. They show us a great deal of respect, no matter even if we're disrespectful to them. Not that anybody should be disrespectful to them, but it does happen in the heat of the battle with some players. And Yeah, of course. As far as tournament direction and making decisions on certain things, they could certainly have made some changes to what they've done. But for the most part, it's awesome. And what we didn't mention, but should be mentioned, is it's pretty much all expenses paid for all of us. $500 we get as a subsidy for travel, and generally we can fly all the way to Shanghai anyway for less than $500 return, or around that amount. And then they put us up at a hotel, good hotel, and they treat us great there as well, and feed us 3 meals a day, and volunteer. The transportation to the venue is all free, or if we want to take a cab, it's like 3 people can get in the cab, and between them it's like $2. So it's like
I like
really
to be
cheap.
the big spender there.
Yes, he
Yeah.
likes to.
You know,
He likes
pay
to take care
the
of that for
taxes.
us. Yeah. I got this.
You get dinner, I got the cab.
Oh, that was a great shot. This is a shot I really like to play. Not only in pool but in snooker, is the kick from behind shot and leave Whitey near the rail or on the rail and put the ball down table. Now, he's a little unlucky where it went. I thought the speed was really good, and then the 7 ball actually just kept going. But he needed to really masse around that 9 to be able to get that stop shot kick, and so he had to hit it at a certain speed. And then Steve's left with an opportunity, but it is missable.
And we're taking a break.
And we're taking a break in the middle of the game. No problem.
I hate that.
Well,
That's me.
it happens. People have to take a break.
I think maybe
they
were.
They didn't go towards the washroom, so I guess they're out for a cigarette or something.
Well,
but
Stephen went that way.
Oh,
Maybe,
okay,
maybe
so-
they were offended that while they're playing, we're talking about Chinese 8-ball.
yeah, it could be. But I think people that are listening would like to hear something. Where else are they going to hear about this? They're not going to hear about it by anybody else. We certainly have got the experience, and I agree. I think the Chinese 8-ball is the toughest and can be the greatest of all the games. It's
For those of you that are a little curious about it, just go onto YouTube and
yes,
put
there's
in
lots of matches.
Chinese 8-ball World Championships and watch.
And you won't see Marty.
Actually,
You will.
actually, you will.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Dang it.
Yeah.
And I personally have been on a lot of the live TV matches on television, so that'll be definitely on besides the streaming tables, there's the live TV tables.
Yeah.
There's 2. There's live TV number 1, the main one. There's a second one, depending on where we are in the tournament. During the initial stages, there's just 1 TV table. There's 2 TV tables, but only 1 actually is on TV. But there's also a streaming table going on all the time. So a lot of the matches are streamed, and it's good quality streaming. You can see quite a bit, and the tables are always in great shape, fabulous shape, very slick cloth, but you can trust it. You can shoot the ball slow, down table, long shot, and trust it.
Okay, so for the people who don't understand the difference between Chinese 8-ball and like American 8-ball,
Yeah.
what is the difference between?
There's not a lot as far as the rules go, so they pretty much play by the BCA rules, although there's no call shot now, so they've changed the rules a little bit to make it more exciting. No call shot, not even on the 8-ball. So you just whack the 8-ball, goes wherever it goes in. Other than that, we're playing the normal ball and hand rules. Let's see what else.
Well, one thing I can add in is that just keeping in mind that the tighter pockets affects the strategy of the game. For example, the side pockets are much wider than the corner pockets. So a lot of times when you break the balls open, if you make a ball, which is a victory if you make a ball on the break. Okay, it's really truly a victory. What you generally do is you start looking at the balls that can be made in the side, so that you can then use the cue ball to go off a side rail and move a ball away from the rail. Because if your balls are within, say, 3 or 4 inches of a rail, there's a really high probability you're going to miss that shot when you get to the ball. So if you can make a ball on the side and then have the cue ball go against the side rail and kick a ball out from the rail so that you can then make it in a corner pocket more easily, then that leads to someone being able to run out or at least hit with more consistency. So that's a strategy you wouldn't even think to look for.
Right.
On a diamond or a gold crown or what have you. It just
Any
doesn't
pool
even
table.
come up because all the balls are makeable in the
corner
corner
pockets.
pockets, right? So
Okay, so the difference is, what you're saying is the difference is the equipment that you use, not so much the game itself.
Well,
Yeah.
it makes a difference in the game because of the equipment. So
Well,
the
yeah.
equipment
Yeah.
changes our strategy.
Well, it changes your strategy, yes, but
The
as far as the
rules are
rules and that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
Pretty much the same.
they're pretty much the same, but it's the equipment. So
and
it's my understanding that the pockets are smaller, more
Much
like a
smaller.
snooker.
Yeah,
They're cut like
exactly,
a snooker pocket,
yeah.
but you're still using the large balls.
Yes.
same balls that we use pretty much.
Yeah.
And what else? I mean, the
And you-
shots are timed. Okay, so in the
games are
tournaments, yeah, the games are timed, but you're on a 1 minute. Is it 1 minute shot clock?
Less than that. 45
Yeah,
seconds.
45
I think.
second shot clock. And once per game, you can get an extension. So for players that really like to take their time and assess a lot of options, you don't get to exercise all of those, all of the strategies that come with that because you're fighting a clock every time. For the players that really like to move quickly around a table, I mean, it just doesn't come up for you.
Now we've got both Star, the Star table manufacturer, who also is the table manufacturer for all the snooker tournaments now, the World Snooker Tour. But the Star people have one tournament a year. That's the World Championships that we go and play in. So that's what we've gone to. But Joy has a series of 6 events. So Joy is another manufacturer. They have a series of 6 events that there are qualifiers for in Vancouver at Top 147, and we put that on Facebook all the time. So anybody can go up there. Anybody, Canadian, American, doesn't matter where you're from. You don't have to be a Canadian to win the spot from Canada to go to play in different parts of China, and all expenses paid. Now it's not $500 subsidy anymore; it's all expenses paid. So they buy the flight for you, they buy the ticket for you, they pay for it. They look after you when you get there. They pick you up like they do with Star as well. They pick us up at the airport, at the airport. They take us to a hotel, and then they take us. That's a nice shot. Then they also take us to the train station and get us there. Then they have buses for us when we get there with volunteers and people out there, coming to want to take pictures of us or have us kiss their baby or all that kind of stuff, right? So it's both Star and Joy try and outdo themselves in how they treat the foreigners when we go there. So it's quite amazing. I've also gone and played in a Joy event on the Tibetan plateau in a place called Xining, China, and had a great time going to a monastery that was had 860 monks, but they're called Buddhists, so they're called lamas. So 860 of them studying there. It was an amazing experience. So you get this opportunity to do that at no cost to yourself, really, right?
Okay, Don Lundy. No, we cannot put the running scores on the bracket. Challenge is controlled by one of the tournament directors, and they can't do that. Do American players act as hosts for foreign players? Sometimes.
Where in China are you talking about?
I don't know.
Is that,
no,
is that a
and
question about-
he's asking if Americans ask as a host for foreign players. Sometimes they do. It depends. I
And
think.
where we're at? We're in tournaments. And what tournaments?
I don't know.
You're talking about in China
Maybe,
or Japan?
maybe
Or?
we can clarify the question, whoever
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah, I don't. I don't
Just kinda
host
getting-
anybody because my house is being remodeled, so there's no chance of that.
Hosts.
Host.
Hosts. Oh, so I see. So do some American people here
Yeah.
host Europeans or whatever that
foreign
come
players
to?
that come,
I
yeah.
see. Now I understand. Okay.
It happens.
Sure, it does happen.
Oh.
Absolutely.
So getting
Can
back
you
to
see
this
through that?
match,
Yeah, can you see by that 7 ball? It looks like you must be
Yeah,
able to.
I think he can come off the rail and into it.
Really? Boy, that looks tight. He can,
Yeah.
absolutely. He went off the rail, spun it, and he's going to have position for the 3 ball on the side. Wow, so he's playing some pretty good pool here. Do you bank this, or do you try and come around here? Draw,
I come around just because I like it.
draw through there. Ooh, and through and into the side bucket. My goodness. Scary. That's a very good shot. You know, jacked up inside a pocket like that, having to shoot that shot is not easy. He's just got a lot of confidence right now. Playing good. That's very good. It's well played. There, get off the rail, get off the rail, get off the rail. Okay, that looks okay. He can stun out to the middle of the table, a little draw, a little stun. You have to hit it fairly firm, but you can get there. A little firmer than that. But he's, I do the sound effects. I think he can miss the 9 ball as he goes by, but it's very close. Yeah, very close. Good shot.
Yeah, he's playing very well.
These guys are both playing good. Both playing very good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Steven is now up 6 games to 3.
6-3 in a race to, this is
9.
loser's bracket? Or
No,
winner's
winner's
this is
bracket.
winner's
A-side.
bracket. This is what?
A-side.
A-side. Okay. Yeah.
So it's a race to 9.
Right. 9 or 7 on the loser's bracket now.
Okay, just to let everybody know, our next match is going to be Stan Tranjo and Dan Louie.
Wow, everybody, you're going to have to get a good seat for that one. That's a good match right there.
I might forfeit my match just so I can watch it.
Oh, I think it's time for me. I guess I got to go.
Oh.
See you guys later. Auf
All right.
Wiedersehen. Sayonara.
She will. Thank you for sitting in. So now you're left with me.
Yeah. Don't think I'm unaware of that.
I didn't hear the table.
The good news is I'll probably be called up soon too.
Oh.
All right. Big break by Steven. And okay, so he's on the 2 ball. Assuming he'll come 1 to 2 rails off of the side to get shape for the 3 in the corner. That sometimes happens, when you're looking to, you have to really stroke through a ball and you have to hit it with draw, but because you're hitting it so hard, you end up hitting it more in the center.
Yeah.
And so now he's gone for a safety shot. He may have left an opening, but
I don't think so. If it is, it's very skinny.
yeah. Ultimately, though, we may see a jump cue come out here if he can't go through there. And there it is. Ooh, look at that.
Well, that works.
Yeah, sometimes you play with confidence and good things happen.
That's right.
So, probably a nice, just slow stroke on the 4 ball to cut it in and keep shape for the 5. Might be a little hard, but he's going to manage. He likes to be within 3 inches of his shot.
Well, people keep saying distance to the ball, distance to the pocket.
Yeah.
It's a harder shot. So if you get really close,
That's that.
it makes it easier, right?
That's right. Good shot.
Right,
Nice
so
out from there. So now Wayne has added a game, so he's up to 4, and now the total score is 6-4 for Steven. So badly want to call this a smart rack.
I. It's a template rack.
It's a template rack.
Yes. Come on, no. Give me that.
Are you Googling? Folks, she is Googling smart rack to see how she can embarrass me.
Smart racks are overhead garage storage systems.
Well, they've just stolen shamelessly what we created in pool. Can't believe this.
JT Bannon wants to call it a nice rack.
A nice rack. Aw.
I don't think that's. I'm just going to leave it. I'll just leave it. It's probably better if I do.
So Wayne's doing a good job here of taking this apart piece by piece. He's got a pretty easy shot on the 3 ball. Stuns it. Now he's going to do just play it a little forward. Playing off the bottom rail, coming back for the 8. And clockwork so far. We'll see what kind of shape he gets on the 9 ball. Good shot. Whoa, where's this cue ball going? No, he's okay.
Okay. So we're now at 6-5.
It's a war. All right. So let's take a look here. So he doesn't have to do much with the 1 other than make it. He can just come off the side rail a little bit, and he's already in good position for the 3 ball. Now he'll probably just hit with a little draw off the side rail after making the 3 and just come out for the 4 in the corner. It's like it's a team effort here. We're working together. Yeah. And now just draw back or come 1 rail off the bottom rail, depending on the angle. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yep. That's right. And so in this shot, he's just going to hit it with a... Just be assertive with it and move it off the side rail and go over for the 6 ball. So 1 or 2 rails, depending on... Yep, 2 rails it is. And probably would have liked to have given himself a little bit more angle. That's something we don't always think about. We just try and get shape for that next ball, but we don't think, okay, now to get to that 7 ball from here, requires a lot more stroke than he would have needed before. And it just leads to more issues. Yeah, it's tough, right? When you don't see the angles truly the way they do. And some people feel much better doing force follow. Some people feel much better doing draw. It's whatever ignites your confidence, you know? Hmm. Yeah. 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 See, it's interesting, right? He had a very makeable run out there. He's certainly skillful enough to do it, but just not thinking about position puts you in a world of trouble. I know from experience. Nice touch shot in the side pocket of the 8. And looking pretty straight for the 9. Wayne's got to be thinking to himself, I've got to make my move, you know? Decent break. Got a little. Oh, maybe he got. Yeah, it's very fortunate if he did. And we'll see what he does to get shape on the 3. Might be hard to draw the ball back with the 4 sitting right there. He may have to just kind of punch that cue ball off the 2 and go right against the side rail. But if he tries force follow, anything can happen here. Oh. Yep. Force follow. At least he gave himself a shot. Not an easy one, but. And he got lucky there. It's amazing, you know, how many players when they luck in a ball start to feel guilty about it and they end up missing their next shot. Yeah, the guilt complex. They might speak Portuguese, so they might not care if you speak Spanish. You go on believing that.
It's closer than French is, isn't it?
ask Walter how to say smart rack in Portuguese. Okay. So he's either just going to stun this ball. Yeah. He's going to play with a little draw. Perfect. Almost. Well, he's moving away with it now. 8-5 and a race to 9. Hoo-wah. That'll be an exciting match. Yes. It's not because of our commentating. Well, of course, that's what I meant. Oh, wow. Flirting with that side pocket. Huh? He broke for the win, and he's got an opportunity to follow through here. Looks like Stephen may try and hit force follow here and bring the cue ball 1 or 2 rails, depending on the angle. I wouldn't be surprised if he's just setting up for a safety shot here. Move the 2 ball up table and bring the cue in behind the 4-8. We'll see if he was successful. Yep. Yeah, I just can't see from where I'm sitting. So Wayne now, he's assessing his options, but he's going for it pretty fast. Yeah, he could see it. So now he's got to be thinking through this. I mean, he's got a challenging shot on the 3, number 1, but that 4 ball is no picnic either, so he might be trying to come off the side rail and break open the 4. Unless he's in a position to stop it. Yeah, he's probably trying to stop it. Wow, look at this. Who is this guy? He's asking for a judge to come in and... No, you don't need that kind of pressure in your life. So, will he just try and hit a soft shot so that he can make the cut on the 5 ball? Or will he come off this side rail and then move back out? If he does that, he could potentially scratch in the side pocket. Wow, I did not expect that. Wow. I don't think no one was more surprised than Wayne what happened there. So now this is a tester. I mean, potentially he could really cut this fine and put that 5 in. But if he misses, that 5 ball will not leave that pocket. So Stephen will definitely have a shot. It's also not easy to play a safe right here. You're flirting with that corner pocket. So look at that cut. Oh, and ouch. Yeah. Sometimes you do something good and you get 0 congratulations. You know, that cue ball just finds its way into a pocket. Stephen with a real opportunity here. Good shot, just off the side, come in for the 8. Left himself a bit of a cut, but looks like he can just follow the cue ball and probably will not scratch. Oh. Well done. Good match. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Can I leave everyone with 2 words?
Yes. you
Smart
can.
rack.
So, yeah. Okay. All right. So if you didn't just hear me, apparently I was muted. So our next match is going to be Stan and Dan. I'm going to go off the air, reset everything. I want to thank Marty for sitting in, Paul Poitier as well. So hang out. It will come back on. I'll be back online in just a few minutes as soon as I get all this reset.